What's going on, guys? So tonight we're going to be working on the old Razor here. We're going to be adding some speaker pods to the roof. So I currently have the ride command system here, and it's got the Rockford speakers, the tweeters, the rear speakers, and then I've got a 10-inch sub, and then I've also got another 10-inch sub. You guys can check out my other videos for the install on that subwoofer. So I'm looking to add more 6.5s, but unfortunately they don't make a lot of options for these as far as adding speakers, unless you go with like a wake tower pod, which I really am not a fan of. I had those on my old machine, and they bounced around a lot and loosened up and blocked my view. I really wanted to get some door speakers, but they're kind of limited with those as well. So this is what I came up with. I really wanted to get a roof stereo with the speakers on the roof, because it keeps it out of the way, keeps it out of the elements. But unfortunately they are really expensive. So if you go with like a Pro Box roof, you're talking like $2,500 minimum without shipping, and that's for just 4 basic speakers. So this is my solution. I found a local guy, well, local in Florida. He's like 3 hours away in New Smyrna Beach. I'm on the West Coast, but he makes these pods that go on your roof, and they basically just overlap on your cage, and then it gets sandwiched between your cage and your roof, and that's how they stay on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be installing 4 more 6.5s and integrate it into my ride command system. So these are just overlays, so these just go on like this. I'm going to be painting these tonight as well. And then this is his company. It's called 530 Fab. So pretty accurate to what we do. We call ourselves the 530 boys because we ride for 5 and drink for 30, so works out pretty good. But basically I'm going to be painting the boxes in like a flat or satin black, and then these are going to be in gloss. The overlays are going to be in gloss. But what we're going to have to do is I want to test fit these first, because I just kind of gave him measurements over the phone. But I want to pull the roof off and just put them on top of the roof, or on top of the roll cage there, get them mocked up, and see how they fit. Now, there is a little bit of a curvature to the front roof and a very slight curvature to the rear roof, and I told him that, and he actually made these with a slight curve. So this is the front here, because there's more of a curve in the front, and then this is the back, which is more of a slight curve. So I want to see how that lines up and just kind of make sure everything fits like it's supposed to. So I'm still waiting on the speakers. I'm going to do the Rockford Fosgate M1s. They're pretty affordable. They've got great reviews, and you know, kind of keep everything Rockford Fosgate, keep it all the same. And I'm going to go with a PRV 4-channel amplifier. So this is not a waterproof amp. I'm going to do my best to waterproof it as best as I can, but it's going to be tucked up underneath here. This got great reviews. I actually had this in my truck, and it powers my 4 6.5s really, really well. They scream with that little amplifier. So this amp I'm going to be mounting here. So it'll be out of the elements. It'll be tucked up away from everything. So should be fine. I'm still going to dielectric grease all the connections and everything just to give it that extra little bit of waterproofness, but that should be fine up there. And then obviously we're just going to have to wire up the speakers from there. Probably have to drill a couple of pilot holes in the side here to send the speaker wire from here to the other box, but we'll get to that when the time comes. So for now, I'm going to start pulling this roof off, and we're going to lay the roof here, and then we're going to put these up and mock them up and make sure they fit right. All right, guys, so we got the roof off, and they're super tight to get in. So I mean, you're talking like millimeters, and you know, like I said, this guy wasn't here to actually, you know, do his measurements. I just sent him these measurements over the phone. I pretty much just sent him measurements from like here to here, and either way, it worked out. I just had to do a little massaging on the aluminum, which I just used a metal mallet, and just kind of push the ends of the aluminum in so it would slide in between the bars. So the only problem in the front is I'm having to grind off my rearview mirror mount, which is fine. I wouldn't be able to use it anyway because the box would sit right in front of it, and we knew that. So I'm going to figure out some type of custom mount or something for that. But that's pretty much how it sits. Just wanted to test fit and make sure it fit, you know, and all that before I did like any paint or anything, because, you know, I'm sure it's going to get kind of chipped up or whatever once I slide it in there. but I hope not. I hope I can just, you know, primer it, let it cure, and then put some grease or something in there. It's just a tight fit. So got to finish grinding that off so that I can get the front in. I had to do the same thing on the front, kind of massage the aluminum. I just hit these with some primer, letting those dry, and then I'm going to paint those in gloss. Those shouldn't be an issue at all. Before I paint them though, I'm going to do the 4 screw holes on the corners to mount them to the boxes, and then once that's done, then I'll paint it. This way, you know, if I go to try to drill in it, it doesn't peel the paint up or anything. The holes will already be pre-drilled. So yeah, I was hoping these would be kind of like drop in and go, but this is definitely like a custom thing. This is his first time doing a 4-seater as well, so you know, considering they came out pretty darn good. I do have LED rings that are gonna be in between the speaker and the box, so that should look pretty cool. They're like LED chasing rings, kind of similar to the ProBox roof stereos that you buy, except those speakers are absolutely insane. I think a pair, they're like $400 or $500 a pair. It's insane. I got the set of 4 Rockford Fosgates for $260, and I think they're rated to like 300 watts. 350 watts, something like that, with like 70 or 90 RMS. I'll put the specs up when I get them, but yeah, it should be really cool. Like I said, I just got to get that off, and then I just want to put the roof back on and just see how the roof sits, because obviously, you know, it goes above the roof, so the roof might sit up just a little bit higher. What is also cool too is those 2 tabs there. They are on this side as well, so when I put them both up there, those will like lock in like that, like tongue and groove almost. So pretty clever there. But yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and finish up grinding that, and I'll put the other one in the front, make sure, you know, everything fits up right, and we'll keep it going. All right guys, so it is the next day. I finally was able to manipulate these boxes in here. It was kind of a pain to massage the metal, and thankfully it's aluminum, so it's nice and soft. I was able to, you know, kind of hit it with a mallet, get them to fit in there. They do fit nice, and the good thing is that they're not even bolted down yet, and they're really solid, like they haven't moved at all, and they're not even sandwiched yet between the roof. I just had this kind of laying over to see the fitment of it. I'm hoping that the curve is a little bit better once I have it all bolted down. It's close, but we'll see once it's all, you know, kind of bolted down. But that's pretty much what it's going to look like. I believe I'm going to end up wrapping these in a satin black. I did go ahead and paint the overlays in a gloss black, so those are all done. I pre-drilled the holes, so I got to do the same thing up here, kind of mock them up, drill the holes. We got the LED rings in also, so I'll show you guys those. Those kind of go in between the box and the speakers. I'm still waiting on the speakers to come in. They should be in on Wednesday or Thursday, the Rockford Fosgate speakers. Then we can kind of keep going, but making some progress here. And we got the amplifier in, and we got all the wiring and stuff ready to go. So within the next few days, we should be finishing this up. All right, guys, so we made a good amount of progress tonight. Actually ended up, like I said, wrapping the boxes in a satin vinyl. Came out really good. And I was able to rivet the overlays onto the box. I'm going to touch up those rivets. I didn't have any black rivets, so I'm just going to touch them up with some black paint, some black spray paint, and so you won't see them. But yeah, we're just waiting on the speakers. I got the LED rings in, just tested those out. Those look awesome. They're really bright. So rings are going to go there, and then the speaker. So the speaker's probably going to sit down to like here, which is a little bit low, but again, it's in the middle, so it doesn't really matter too much. But I think it's going to look really, really good, guys. I ended up doing getting some wiring ready with the amplifier as well. So we've got remote turn on, ground and power all ran, and then we have all the speaker wires cut and ran to the amp as well. This way we can just go ahead, pop the amp up into the box. I'm going to put it in here, in this one, and then we can figure out where we're going to run the wiring. I don't know if I'm going to go down the pillar or down the B pillar here. I really would like to run it through the cage, but it's really hard on these. There's really no like openings, and I don't like drilling into this cage just for structural reasons, but we'll figure that out later. But yeah, it's coming along, guys. Just wanted to give y'all an update, and we're going to keep working on it. All right, so we are getting very close to being done, guys. I kind of jumped around here and was just kind of getting this done without recording a whole lot. But basically got the LED rings on. The speakers are all mounted. I got all of the wiring ran. I'll step up here and show you guys. Still able to clean up the wiring just a little bit, but kind of an idea of how it's looking so far. So we got speakers ran, speaker wire ran back there. So this wire is going to be here. I already put some foam here. So it's going to be sandwiched in between the roof and this foam. There's also foam going on the roof as well. So it'll be between two pieces of foam, nice thick foam. So it won't have any issue pinching between metal or anything like that. Got the amp wired up. Got the adapter here that's getting the signal from the front speaker. I'm going to include links to all this stuff, guys. This PRV amp is insane. It's turned up like, this is off, and it's turned up like 1/8 of the way. You can kind of see where the notch is. That's almost off. Like it can go all the way around on both channels, or all 4 channels rather, and it is insanely loud. I'm gonna play some non-copyright music for you guys so you can get an idea of how loud it is. It's absolutely insane. But yeah, I ended up having to get these Y adapters from Amazon so I can run all 4 channels. This is bridged to 4 ohm. Since these are 4 ohm speakers, I wanted to keep everything 4 ohm. And it's 100 watts per channel basically. So each speaker is getting about 100 watts, which is why I think it's turned all the way down, because these are like 75 RMS and like 250 peak, and they absolutely scream. They drown out my stock Rockford speakers. So, but yeah, I got the wiring all ran. This is where I have the chassis ground here. You want to keep, ideally, the grounds for the amplifiers are around 18 inches or shorter, which is kind of close to what we have. So right to chassis ground, and then I've got the power wire running down here, going directly to the battery. Remote amp turn on, and everything is running through here. So I have to kind of button this all up and tuck all those wires away. This is the speaker wire going to the front speaker here, which is where we're getting our audio output from. And then that comes up, goes into this kicker RCA adapter here, and then that's where the wires come from. They got wired in here, and this comes out to the RCAs, and then goes and gives the amplifier the audio signal. So let's turn it on, guys. I'll show you the lights. As soon as they come on, as soon as you turn the key on, they come on, and they look really, really good. Like I said, I'll play some non-copyright music here in a minute so you guys can hear it. It sounds insane. It's super, super loud, super crystal clear. Again, these are the Rockford M1s, and yeah, they are insanely loud. But I wanted to go with a Marine, kind of upgraded speaker. I didn't want to, go cheap or half-ass with it. I wanted to just kind of one and done. But it sounds really, really good, really loud and really clear. So yeah, guys, I know it's kind of hard to tell, on video, the sound quality, but it's crazy loud. Like if you actually sat in the machine and tried to listen to it, even at 6 or 7, it's crazy. It's way too loud. But again, this is just for like when we're parked up and, we're blasting music and stuff. I can turn it up and you can actually hear it from a good distance from the machine. Definitely love the look. And yeah, like I said, we're almost done. I just have to put the roof back on. I'm going to put some foam here in between the roof and the boxes as well, just so there's no rattling or anything. It'll kind of seal everything off, make sure everything's nice and watertight. And then, yeah, we got to mount the front light bar again, mount the rear chase bar, tuck some wires away, and that'll pretty much be the end of this build. So once I get done with that, guys, we'll go ahead and pull it out, we'll get it washed up, and we'll give a final walk around video and show you guys the finished product. All right, guys, so this is the final product. Last night I ended up adding a knob, a volume knob, audio knob, whatever you want to call it, to be able to turn these down, because I still have the factory Rockford speakers, the sub and all that. And these are so loud, even with the amp turned almost all the way down, that they really overpower the other speakers. So with that knob turned all the way down, they still play sound through them, but it's not overbearing to where it's way too loud in the cabin. So, you know, if I want it to be really loud, if we are away and out of the machine and we're all just kind of hanging out, you know, playing music, then, you know, I can go ahead and turn the knob up. But, yeah, really, really happy with the install. A lot of work. I know I probably should have taken some more pictures or videos for you guys and kind of went through a little bit more of the detail, but I really just wanted to, you know, get this done. We've got an event coming up. I try to document as much as I can. I'm going to leave a link, a bunch of links in the description for everything that I purchased. Like I said, I think I told you guys I was in it for like around $1,200 with everything. That's including the boxes, the speakers, the rings, all the wiring, miscellaneous connectors, things like that. And it's insanely loud, man. Like, I couldn't imagine needing any more than this unless you're the type of person that just likes to blast music as loud as humanly possible, which is nothing wrong with that. But I just wanted to add some more sound to these because these factory speakers in the Turbo Rs, they're not bad, but they're definitely not that loud. I might end up actually swapping out these factory speakers with these Rockford M1s because they sound really good, and I like that you can turn them up high even with bass and they don't distort, and they're really punchy. So that might be the next move here, is to end up swapping out those speakers for the M1s. Even though, like I said, I don't really need it now with these. It's plenty loud, but it would still be kind of cool to get some better quality speakers in here. But that's going to do it for now, guys. Like I said, I'm going to post the links in the description, so if you guys want to do this yourself, I'll go ahead and tag the guy who built these boxes. Like I said, he's out of New Smyrna Beach. Very affordable. Obviously does great work. This all came out really, really nice. But yeah, as always, guys, I appreciate y'all watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you in the next one.